you how you can get your code that you wrote in your separate branch and you made a pull request from, how you can get your code back into the master branch so others can start working with it. So the first thing that I want to show is what a easy merge looks like. And then I'll show you what a difficult merge looks like. So what is the difference? Easy merge means when the master branch or the branch that you are merging to hasn't changed since you've made your changes. So one example like this is Baha's commit right here. You can see that GitHub is already telling us, hey, there's no changes. But other pull requests, like I think Majdi has. So Majdi still did this in a older version before we made the restructuring of the files. You can see that here we have some trouble. So that means that the master branch has changed since Majdi made changes on his branch. So let's start with the easy one. So first and most important thing, so I'm now in the repo. The first thing you have to make sure is that you don't have any open changes in the code, so uncommitted changes. So I'll show you, if you do, I'll show you how to fix that. So for example, here's my index.js, and for example, I make some changes here. Now you can see git status. I have changes, so that's not a good thing because we're going to move from branch to branch, and uncommitted code will give us some issues. So a way to do this is by using the git stash command. So what this does is it doesn't commit your code, but it lets you save it for later. So you don't commit it, but you will keep it. So it's like a special place where you can store stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. So git stash, and you can see now if I do git status again, the changes are gone, and also if I look at the file, those changes aren't here anymore. So if you want to get your changes back from git stash, you do git stash pop. So open up again, and it already says I have the changes again. So another thing we can do with git stash is I'm going to put things back, so you can see now my changes are back. And another thing I can do is git stash, and then do git stash drop. So never ever make the mistake of writing drop when you actually mean pop. I think they sound too much alike. So git stash drop permanently deletes anything that's in your stash. So I'm going to say git stash drop. And you can see git status, the changes are gone, but also my stash is now empty. So this is just I also frequently use this just if I've been making some changes for testing or something, and I just want to remove everything that I've done so far. So then I do a git add a, and an easy way to get rid of them is to put them in stash and then delete them. Okay, so that's again, why do we do this? Just because we need a clean branch. So I am now on the master branch, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, from GitHub, get any changes that that have been made there. So one way to do this is git fetch, but we're going to use git pull. So git pull, so we already are up to date. So let's take a look at these branches. Git branch will just give me my local ones, so I don't have any of the remote ones. But if I do git branch -a, I can see the branches that you guys have been working on. So I can now do a git checkout and type one of these names. I don't have to do an origin. Git automatically also looks for remote names if we do a git checkout. What I'm going to do is I'm first going to do a git checkout to one of the branches that I want to merge, and then get all the changes on my local computer, so I can, on my local computer, make the merge. I'm going to say git checkout. So I want to do Baha's merge. So that's this one. So we can also do this through GitHub, but I, for now, just want to show you how it works via the CLI. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say git checkout get to do, because that's Baha's branch. and you can see it automatically says, oh yeah, I found this branch remotely, and I'm automatically tracking it from there. So I'm going to do a git pull. So everything's up to date because we already did a git pull. And now I'm going to go back to master, and now we're going to make this move. So we're going to, this is master, this is Baja's branch. We're going to get Baja's branch, or we're going to get master up to date with this. So because we know already that there's no, you can always do a dry run to first see if there's going to be changes, but we already know that there's no conflict. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say git merge get to do. So in this case we have some changes, and the only thing we have to do now is git status. We can see that we've pulled in one commit, and we can now do a git push. So now master and Baja's branch are identical, and Baja's branch doesn't make, we don't have to use it anymore. So you can also see here, you can see the pull request was successfully merged and closed. So GitHub automatically recognizes this. So the thing that we're going to do now is I'm going to delete Baja's branch. I'm going to do that, but it takes me 3 commands. Why? I'm going to say git branch -d for delete, or we can also do -- delete. And I'm going to say get to do. So we don't need branch anymore. So I'm going to say delete it. Now I'm also going to say git push -- delete origin get to do. I think that was it. So you can see I now deleted this on the remote. And git branch -a. You can see that it's gone, both locally and here. So this was the easy branch where I knew that there was not going to be any conflicts. One thing I skipped actually that I should have done is actually, because this was not my branch, I should have gone to Baja's branch and tested whether everything was working. Anyway, we can see if everything's working now. So we can do nodemon starting up. Oh yeah, I have my MySQL off right now, so I'm going to. That's why it's not working. So that's that. Let's see. GitHub now also says it was merged and the branch was deleted. So I'm going to say close pull request. So that's that. So that's how we've merged and closed a pull request with no conflicts. Now we're going to go to a next, which is going to be one that you're going to see a lot more often, which is pull requests with conflicts. So so here we have a file that has GitHub already tells us a little bit about conflicts. So what I'm going to do here is it's called a three-way merge. So what this means is we're going to merge 2 branches that have part of its history the same. So this is this branch. So here at some point they were the same because, so we're looking now at Jack's, I think. Yeah, Jack's branch. So they once were the same. Jack made its own branch. We made some changes to the master branch. In the meanwhile, for example, we just pulled in Baja's branch. But now we need to get them back again. So what this actually means is, I find an easy thing to understand this is if you do a git log. So so I can see now my changes to the master branch. So these are all the commit messages. And you can see Baja's change also. But if we do git checkout, I think it's, what's the name? Updated to do. and we do another git log, then you can see, just like before, so just see the difference here. As you can see that, so Jack made a bunch of changes, so you can see that merge pull request, delete to-dos. So there's a common ancestor, that's what it's called, where so made a change, and this is also here. So this was the last moment where the two branches were the same. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to get out of git log, you can press Q or Control. Oh no, Q. Q is the way to get out of that. So let's see how we can get this guy in. So we're gonna go git checkout master, go back to master. So the thing we're going to do now is we're going to make some, we're going to merge, but that's going to create some merge conflict. So the thing to do is git merge update data to do, and then we're going to say no fast forward. So what does this do? This means that Git is not automatically going to try to merge the two histories. And as you can see, it's trying to merge. And this is very, like the most important thing to do always now is pay attention. Don't do this kind of stuff when you are sleepy or at the end of a long working day. But this is the moment where big bugs can come in, because you have to read manually. Okay, there's a merge conflict here. So now we just have one file, but it can be that there's like 8 different files, and so you have to make sure that every conflict that's there, we're going to have to fix that ourselves. So it tells us merge in index.js. So we're going to open index.js, and as you can see, it's already open. As you can see, Git has left us this message. And basically what you see in a lot of teams, if people have been sleepy and they've missed some Git conflicts, then you'll see that actual code contains this kind of crap. So it is now your responsibility to fix whatever is here. And unfortunately, there's no automatic fun way to do this. So you just have to be smart and know what to do. So the thing that Git is saying is that in our version, because we are head right now because we are in master, this is the version that our version has, and this is the code that Jack's version had. So this makes sense because I know in this case that I've been doing this. So if you know actual stuff about the code, it's much easier. So in this case, I know that all of this code has gone into here. And because I know this, so if you don't know this, you have to communicate with your colleagues. I know that the head has to win in this case. So in other words, everything that is above the equal, like if both code has changed, you will see stuff here, and you have to make sure like what's the latest updated version. Sometimes some code of both sides of the equal sign needs to be maintained, and then you have to collaborate with whoever did that. So in this case, I know that the head needs to win, and that means that we can delete everything after the equals and then delete stuff like this. So, and now comes the interesting part, because Jack has made some changes here. This is why it's called a three-way commit, because we're actually going to create an extra commit that reflects the updated version. So I'm going to, because we know that this now needs to be moved to another file, so I'm going to say X, command X, I'm going to get that out of here and paste it in here. So if you are not familiar yet with this file structure, make sure to watch the other video that I made yesterday. So this is, we already made this patch endpoint, so the only thing I want to do is copy Jack's code, put it in here, remove the console log because that's not supposed to be there, and Jack's type needs a /ID, and I'm going to leave the title, even though I know, like we've already had the conversation on GitHub, that the title actually needs to be changed. But in this case, I just want to keep Jack's code, like he can fix it himself again on the master branch, which is again not actually the right way. I'll only get into master branch when it's done, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like right now. So Jack, if you see this, make sure to make a new branch from the master branch. I guess that's that. So let's get back to what Git is telling us now. So you can see both modified, which is Git understands that this is the file that needs a new commit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, and this is the change we also made. So as you can see, this is why it's called a three-way merge. In the process of merging, we are actually creating a new commit that makes a new history that neither of the two branches had before. So I'm going to say git-a, which gives us those two files that we changed. I'm going to say git-am. So I'm going to say merged updated to do into master, moved update to do endpoint to cool. So now I can see I have actually 4 commits. So this includes the commits that Jack made and the commit that we just made. And let me, importantly, before testing, make sure that everything's working, which unfortunately I can't because I still don't have MySQL up and running. But I think the JavaScript is up and running because I'm getting I don't think I left any big bugs. So I'm going to say git push. And if things went well, we should now see here that the branch was deleted. So last thing I can show you about the merging part is last time we deleted the branch on our CLI, and we made also the delete remotely. But I just want to show you one last command, which is what if someone else deletes it? So in this case, GitHub is going to delete the branch. Git branch -a. So you can see that I still have a version of the branch. So my Git thinks that there's still a remote version, but there isn't. So the way to fix this is to do this command, git pull prune. So look in the dictionary if you don't know what prune means. But if we do this, you can see that also my local version now has this. So I'm going to also delete so I don't have my Git now knows that the remote version is gone. Now I just have to delete the local version, which is updated to do, git status, and that's that. Git branch -a. Cool. So we made a clean merge, a dirty merge, or actually what's called a three-way merge, and some other stuff. So from now on, you guys, if you guys have gotten some reviews on your branches and you think that they are adequate, good enough to get back into master, then you can. But you should always, before merging into master, have at least one fellow student give some feedback on your, or give a review on your pull request. So that's that for now.